And this product actually has an incredible market, and it's a brand new one too, because we're besieged by skin trends with what the cosmetic industry calls environmental stresses. And those are like ultraviolet rays, pollution, and cigarette smoke, and I'm sure a number of you can number a number of other toxins. And these stresses contribute to the appearance of aging. So the evening, according to the experts, is an ideal time to repair the damage done. At nighttime, the skin does repair. You know, for the first half of 2009, sales of nighttime facial moisturizers were estimated at 43 million. The sales of specialized nighttime treatments, mostly concentrated serums, totaled roughly 17 million, according to Karen Grant, who's the vice president for beauty in the NPD group. Nighttime treatments, you know, are on the rise. So far, about 55 nighttime skincare products have made their debut in North America, compared to 40 in the previous year, according to the Mintel International Group, a market research firm. The so-called clock genes in our skin that can distinguish night from day can, after repeated exposure to these genes to environmental stressor, become desynchronized. Slowly, the skin's ability to repair itself, for which make sure cells work together for optimal repair for the damage that occurs during the day. So we're going to bring on our expert, who not only understands it and explains it, but he lives it, from building an incredible new futuristic wellness center in Costa Rica, which is a blue zone, to the way he balances his diet and the way that he talks to people. And of course, I'm talking about our very own Dr. Giampapa, who's the founder of the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine. He's the first president of the American Board of Anti-Aging Medicine, the first board-certified anti-aging physician and surgeon, assistant clinical professor, UMDNI Medical Center, New Jersey. He's the author of 5 books on anti-aging. He's over 20 U.S. patents and a consultant to NASA. So you really are the very expert on this, and it's really interesting, the information that you sent us, Dr. Giampapa, about nighttime. So I will pass the webinar over to you, and thank you so much for being with us today.
Well, it's my pleasure, Lucy, and basically what I'd like to do is just wish everyone a very happy new year and a healthy one, and I'm sure Jeunesse will help make it as healthy as possible for us all. So to move ahead on, I guess, on our next slide, are you going to do that, or shall I do that? Let's take a peek here. Okay. Trying to get our next slide. I seem to be frozen. And there we go. Okay. So let's just take a brief kind of overview on how our skin works. And basically, one needs to keep in mind that the skin is the largest organ in the body, and usually how someone ages is readily apparent on their face and the skin of their body, and we'll usually see a dramatic relationship to improvement in the aging process as the skin improves as well. So if you really want to take a look at how someone's aging from the inside out, the skin is a very good way to look at that and a very good indicator of what's happening. There are a number of reasons to use facial treatments before bed. And one of those is the key fact that during the day, when our sun is exposed to UVA and UVB light, which most of us are exposed to tremendously throughout the day, particularly those climates where there's a lot of sun, like Australia, Central America, South America, what happens is the UV damage that occurs to the skin really occurs at the level of our DNA. And one of the most common things that we've actually measured over the last 7 years is what's called TT dimer formation, or the ability of the sun to create damage to the specific segment of DNA. The most important thing that we looked at is we developed a compound from a natural source that was able to reverse this damage as it occurred in the DNA, at the level of the DNA in our skin, as well as continue to reverse that damage for up to 10 hours, 12 hours after the exposure to that damage that the UVA and UVB radiation caused to our skin. So this led us to create a product over the last 7 years that focused mainly on DNA, but then began to look at the other components in our skin so that we could help literally reverse the aging process. Certain ingredients that we looked at actually degrade in light or make your skin more likely to burn, and these are best used when the sun doesn't shine. Okay, so we had to keep that in mind. We are also constantly repairing our skin and responding to stressors. Now, Lucy mentioned there's stressors from the environment, and again, UVA, UVB radiation, environmental toxins that we ingest both in the air and in our food, their ultraviolet electromagnetic field radiation, even from our cell phones, impacts how our genetics work, particularly in our body and in our skin. So we're exposed to not only aging from the outside, but then we're exposed to the aging process from the inside. And the inside process has to do with the normal aging process and the normal production of free radicals that our body produces just to stay up to par with the cells as they divide, and to keep our body functioning at a normal, healthy level. So in summary, we really have to look at skin aging from the inside out and from the outside in, and we'll come back to that in just a minute as we start to look a little bit more at how this product and the program for skin repair has really been designed here at GeneSce. So with LUMINESCE Advanced Night Repair, we have included naturally derived ingredients that help repair your DNA on a cellular level as the damage is occurring, and secondly, dramatically impact that damage and continue to repair that damage afterwards. Our whole concept here is to combat the aging process so that the appearance of our skin looks better in a number of categories. And we'll be talking about not just wrinkles, but color, texture, and, if you will, hydration or thickness of the skin. So how does all this kind of magical ingredients work? Well, the main ingredient that we use for the DNA repair process is a naturally occurring extract from a vine in South America. Now, many people have heard of cat's claw. Okay, now this is a vine that is indigenous to the Amazon area, and we have been using this for over 7 years, published a number of articles that document its ability to repair DNA. And the interesting thing is that cat's claw extract alone is not really the component that is responsible for the DNA repair process. It's a small subfraction of the cat's claw plant that is really the key ingredient here. So using just cat's claw powder alone will not really create the efficacy or the effect that this special ingredient has. So when we take this compound and topically put it in specific delivery systems like we have with the Advanced Night Repair, the special ingredient can penetrate the skin, and what happens, it gets to the membrane of the cell where it actually stimulates a receptor. That receptor actually allows this compound to pass into the skin, into the cell, and inside the cell, this specific compound called a carboxyalkyl ester, or the subfraction of cat's claw, actually interacts with a compound called NF-kappa B, which is a very inflammatory compound. And by inhibiting that inflammatory compound, there is a cascade of events that occur that actually then allow the nucleus, or trigger compounds in the nucleus, to actually increase the DNA repair process. And I've actually published a number of chapters on this, and rather than bore you with the details on these ingredients and how they work in detail, the secret is that this DNA repair compound actually does get into the cell, does interact with key compounds inside the cell, which then turn on the DNA repair switch within that cell so it doesn't accumulate damage, and it actually repairs the damage that it has been exposed to. Now, research has shown that certain physiological changes that happen at night actually may enhance the effectiveness of some therapeutic creams or products. Let's talk about a little of those, some of those for a moment. Skin temperature rises, okay, as does water loss, leading to slightly drier skin in the evening. Now, if your water loss is higher, theoretically, due to a kind of less effective skin barrier, this can actually help allow certain compounds to get into the skin a little more easily. If your skin temperature rises, we also know that blood flow to the skin actually improves. So nocturnal blood flow in the skin appears to be higher, which also seems to help allow for an enhancement of penetration by specific ingredients. So when blood flow is increased to the skin surface area, we find more effective delivery of some of these key peptides that are also included in advanced night repair. And what we've seen is, for instance, if you use a specific regimen in the evening or whenever you actually cleanse your skin, particularly here we're referring to the evening, for instance, what we call here in the States a buff puff, or which is like a slightly abrasive pad that will remove some of the dead buildup of skin on the epidermis and thin out the epidermal barrier and allow whatever product to penetrate a little more efficiently. The actual action of actually washing your skin with an abrasive pad, or even some of these new ultrasonic skin cleansing apparatuses also help not only with thinning out the epidermal barrier and improving the blood flow to the skin, but the ones that use ultrasound actually open the pores and allow for even further improved penetration. So I've always encouraged both my patients and people who use skin products to make sure they have a regimen that includes any one of these three components. Well, like many of our organs, our skin can tell day from night, or put another way, biological processes change, including the level of gene expression, that is, certain genes are turned on and other genes are turned off, if you will, throughout the day. And this varies from, different parts of the day from the evening as different from the morning. And these, if you will, sensitive clocks within our cells have actually been documented by a number of research people, particularly neurobiologists at the University of Massachusetts Medical School here in the States. Furthermore, when people say, well, we have biological clocks inside our cells, that doesn't mean that there's a mechanical process where the cell immediately knows when it's day or night. But let me give you an example of how this most likely works. In the evening, melatonin is produced by our pineal gland. And melatonin is one of the key, if you will, hormones that regulates our biological clocks from day to night. So enhancing melatonin or taking additional melatonin as we age helps regulate these clocks. And these clocks are also triggered by, if you will, the cellular clocks are triggered by other hormones like cortisol. So when we talk about these aging clocks, we're really talking about a dynamic system where the hormones themselves, which are triggered by light or triggered by stress or triggered by the need for cellular repair, are really the basis of what we're referring to. So what we've been looking at over the last 7 years is the scientific evidence linking these, if you will, circadian or bio clocks, which exist all over the body, to the cell's cycle or the cell's ability to repair the dead cells or actually repair damaged cells, and DNA itself. Now, the most important thing to keep in mind is that as we age, and up until about 30-ish, we are actually able to repair the damage that we suffer more efficiently than the damage we incur. Now, once we hit 30 and beyond, we become mortal, okay? We become actually very, very prone to accumulating this damage within our DNA. And that really is the core of the problem in both aging in the body and particularly aging in the skin. Okay. This powerful cosmeceutical, if you will, and we use the term cosmeceutical because it really is something that is closer to a pharmaceutical rather than a cosmetic ingredient. And this is based on the most advanced clinical research available and has been designed to enhance specific metabolic pathways involved in the aging process, particularly the processes of DNA repair. About 7 years ago, we did 2 independent studies, one with a very, very big company, which I can't mention their name, but it begins with, the 2 letters begin with E and then L. We did a joint study to document the effectiveness of this specific compound on DNA repair. Not only was it effective, but this process, this ingredient was, at that time, 7 years ago, considered to be one of the most important ingredients that could possibly have been discovered for skin repair. We then went ahead and did a second study looking at human cells, irradiating these cells, and watching how they were damaged, but also watching how they responded dramatically when in the presence of this DNA repair process and compound. And again, we were able to document just dramatic improvement in the cell's ability to repair itself under very stressful conditions. So advanced night repair is an interesting hybrid. It has evolved over the last 5 to 6 years and become even more effective than it was when we initially started our research. So what's so important about this compound? Well, first of all, if you understand what happens with our skin and our body in general, each one of our 100 trillion cells in the body are exposed to damage. And you'll find this hard to believe, but the facts are that each cell probably suffers about 500,000 hits to its DNA daily where it actually is damaged. Our body is able to repair the vast majority of this. These are single-strand breaks. Double-strand DNA repair breaks are extremely difficult to repair. And these are things from ionizing radiation and some xenotoxic or environmental toxins that frequently will affect our cells and our skin. And this DNA repair compound that we have in advanced night repair has been shown to actually improve those and repair those as well. The second thing we've noticed more recently in the last 3 or 4 years is as our cells turn over and repair themselves, the little caps on the end of the cells called telomeres really are one of the key things that dictates how long those cells will be able to make new skin cells, and actually is a measure of aging within the skin themselves. So we have added to this product a new compound, which we'll talk about in a minute, that actually allows our skin to make more copies of itself and helps slow down the shortening of our telomeres of our skin. Furthermore, we have a powerful blend of vitamins A, B, C, and E, which are some of the essential components that help buffer free radicals, that is the source of aging from both the inside and the outside of our skin. And the other components that we've been looking at and added to this compound have to do with preventing water loss by locking in hydration and increasing hydration by 85% within 2 weeks in our clinical studies. Now, when we talk about hydration, we're really not talking about, the skin is acting more like a sponge and holding more water. But what we're really talking about is avoiding water loss from the surface, number one. But number two, more importantly, the ingredients we've added to this compound and this new product actually help produce more hyaluronic acid. And if you think of hyaluronic acid as the body's sponge, it is really that which holds the moisture. So as we age, we lose this hyaluronic acid, which is the gel substance between the cells. And as we age and lose that, our skin becomes, if you will, more like a prune. We lose the hydration, we lose the flexibility. So there are a number of ingredients in this compound that as well help reestablish the production of hyaluronic acid. And restoring the skin's natural protein levels with an exclusive patent-pending formula derived from adult stem cells, which has been Dr. Newman's lifetime pursuit, has added probably another major dimension to the overall systems approach that we're using here. So these particular peptides help wake up the skin's cells that are now kind of quiescent and sleeping as we age, and help them to produce more collagen, more elastin, and more hyaluronic acid. So what we're trying to talk about is, and what I'm trying to emphasize is, this is an extremely unique product that actually interacts at the level of our DNA, our genetics, the level of our stem cells, and actually works on restoring, preventing, and repairing the damage as our skin is exposed to it, but also continues to repair it as the day goes on. So while you sleep is again one of the key times that our cells undergo repair, and let's talk about that for a moment too. As we sleep, particularly as we go into deep REM, that is our deep sleep, which has been documented to be when we're in the theta and delta brainwave level activity, our body releases growth hormone. And growth hormone is one of the key compounds that trigger cell repair. So for another reason, we encourage people to use the repair process and to enhance repair process with this product while they sleep. I talked a little bit on caryoptomatosa or cat's claw extract, which again enhances both single and double strand DNA repairs. This is without a question one of the most important focuses of this product. And as I mentioned earlier, for 20 years ago, when this product was originally, or this compound was originally examined by physicians traveling in the Amazon, they noticed that not only did people's skin look better who were using it for these topical lesions, but actually skin cancers tended to grow much slower and in many cases disappeared. We cannot make claims that that's the case with this product, but I can tell you for sure that one of the other components that the extract of cat's claw accomplishes is a thing called apoptosis, which is a process where the body will get rid of or self-destruct any cells that are abnormal or growing or becoming cancerous. So again, aside from the cosmetic applications, this product has a very, very potential, a large benefit for, if I will, our attendees down under who are exposed to a lot of amounts of ultraviolet radiation and tend to be fair-skinned. This is an excellent protective product to help avoid keratoses in abnormal skin growth as we age. So LUMINESCE Advanced Night Repair has been designed to do a number of key things utilizing the most recent science that we have that's directly related to reversing the aging process of the skin, stimulating stem cells, inhibiting the normal process of aging both inside and outside the body, that is the detrimental effects of free radicals. Let's talk just for a moment a little bit more about this compound that we've added called Bacillin, which decreases the shortening of the telomeres. It promotes new cell growth. If you look at the little picture on the right of this slide, you'll see what looks like a little orange cap on the end of a chromosome. Now, every time the cell divides, that little cap shortens a teeny bit till it hits a critical length where it will then send a signal to the cell to stop dividing. Well, when that happens in the skin area, what we start to notice is we not only see a rapid progression of wrinkles, but we'll notice the skin looks dehydrated, it gets thicker, and it starts to accumulate what look like these irregular clumps of skin. Now, by adding this ingredient to Advanced Night Repair, what we've done is actually slow the shortening of this telomere within the skin cells down, which actually helps us promote new cell growth within the dermis layer of the skin. And this allows for, number one, a quicker shedding of these dead skins or exfoliation of the dead or dying skins on the surface, but also allows for our skin to produce collagen, elastin, and hyaluronic acid for a longer period of time. So we're actually extending the period of healthy skin appearance and function. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Some of the other ingredients that have been added and again really help prevent the transepidermal water loss by locking in hydration have been chosen because of their natural origins. Apple, lentil, watermelon extracts, and cucumber extracts have all been shown to act as, if you will, a barrier on the surface of the skin to help lock in hydration. Other compounds actually help increase intracellular hydration by 85% in 2 weeks. And have been shown to reduce fine lines in as little as a few hours. Okay, so what we're talking about here is the product that we've designed has two really components that work on hydration. The natural ingredients that we use to create, if you will, a more effective external barrier to lock in the water, and other compounds that actually help produce more hyaluronic acid. So the sponge effect inside our skin is enhanced, and that allows our skin to hold more water. So the immediate effects that you'll see are really due to the fact that we're inhibiting the water loss, while the long-term effects over a couple of weeks have to do with the fact that we've produced more hyaluronic acid, which allows us to retain more moisture within the skin. So during the normal aging process, your cells and the gel-like substance that lubricates between these cells, that is the hyaluronic acid, loses its ability to hold water or hydration. And this causes your skin to become thin and dry. And the other component that is directly related to this loss is the fact that as we age, the genes in our skin become quiescent. Okay, so as we age, the genes within the cells that make hyaluronic acid, make collagen and elastin, and these are mainly the genes in the stem cells, they actually go to sleep, if you will. Now, the growth factors and the peptides that have been added to this product and are part of Dr. Newman's research are the key ingredients that wake up those cells to start producing, if you will, more of the key compounds to enhance hydration. What's the result of this? Well, the result of this is new skin cells actually start to grow, and the telomeres are actually helped by keeping them from shortening at a more rapid rate. And at the same time, we begin to repair the damage to the DNA that helps both the stem cells and the somatic, or the body cells, the skin cells themselves. So we end up seeing, in a very short period of time, an improvement in the, if you will, thickness of the dermis, in the collagen content, and actually a reduction in the amount of damage to the skin itself. Over the past 4 years, I've actually been looking at, on a special computer in our office called a Visia Skin Computer, and you can look that up, VISIA. We actually can measure the amount of DNA damage or damage below the surface of the skin before we see this, and we see dramatic reductions in the damage to the subsurface cells, particularly their DNA, as people use this product on an ongoing basis. And I wish I had had time to send that to you, but Lucy, I will send you some copies of the study and the actual images that show that we've reduced the DNA damage within the skin cells themselves. So Luminesce's growth factor complex, along with the which affects the stem cells and really enhances stem cells, along with the DNA repair process, being enhanced by our extract of cat's claw, really restores a natural look to the skin by enhancing the proteins that are responsible for making collagen and elastin and hyaluronic acid. Those are really the three areas that we've targeted. The line of skincare products which have been designed work together synergistically, and again, if I haven't got that point across at the moment, I'll make it crystal clear in just one more second. A truly effective anti-aging skincare program is really one that we want to use on a, if you will, regimented basis. So applying Luminesce Cellular Rejuvenation Serum, both in the morning and before bed, will actually help those stem cells within your skin to start to make more of those key proteins we've just spoke about, that is elastin, collagen, and hyaluronic acid. So that's where the peptides from the stem cell serums become effective. By using the advanced night repair, we're again stimulating the skin with a little bit more of these stem cell peptides, but we then begin to repair the damage to the DNA that we've suffered throughout the day by the general aging process from both inside the skin and outside the skin. Now, why is DNA repair important to help make these stem cell peptides work better? Let's just take a second and talk about that, because as our cells age, whether it's the skin or the cells inside our body, they suffer damage from DNA. And DNA, if you will think about DNA as your computer software, if that software is damaged, you end up with a computer that doesn't work optimally or eventually crashes. So what happens inside these cells with DNA damage, particularly the stem cells, as they suffer DNA damage, they cannot produce the proteins and peptides that they are designed to produce to make collagen if they have a significant amount of DNA damage. So as we apply the advanced night repair and we begin to improve the level of DNA repair, DNA damage, and enhance the cell's ability to repair that damage to, if you will, coach their software, the stem cells function better. The better they're functioning, the more receptive they are to the stem cell serums that have also been included in this product. So there's a direct synergy between the addition and the use of these two products together at the genetic level. And what LUMINESCE is focused about, and the reason I'm here, is to bring you the most recent science and the most recent compounds that have real credibility and scientific support behind them. So what we're saying is the best thing to do is, for an optimal skin regimen, is to apply the stem cell serum in the morning and the evening, and to apply the advanced night repair in the evening as well. Now, in the morning, one of the things we want you to do is to help avoid additional damage to your skin, and that's where the daily moisturizing complex comes in, because within that complex is a very effective, non-toxic sunscreen compound. So what we're really looking at doing is limiting the damage in the morning and helping your stem cells function more optimally. In the evening, we're again feeding those stem cells to work more optimally, and the evening is when we're enhancing the repair process so the cells that have been damaged throughout the day can function better. In essence, this is an extremely comprehensive program, and the net effect is to enhance moisture levels to restore your collagen and elastin. And what happens is your skin looks better, dramatically better. Not just in, if you will, less wrinkles, but there is another interesting kind of effect of the cat's claw specific extract, and that is it dramatically removes and enhances the removal of the skin spots that we all see as we age. Now, some of those spots we see are from pigmentary or melanin depositions in the skin due to sun exposure and just due to aging. And other of those spots are due to what's called lipofuscin deposits or age-related pigments. So what we've seen in clinical trials with this product is a dramatic reduction of those light brown or even dark brown spots with long-term use. In fact, so effective that this product has been called equal to or more effective than hydroquinone, 4% solution of hydroquinone, which we now know is a toxic ingredient to the skin. So we're looking at improving the following: reducing the actual amount of wrinkles, enhancing the skin's thickness by producing more collagen and elastin, enhancing the skin's moisture by inhibiting the loss of water and by producing more hyaluronic acid that holds the moisture. And by the way, this also helps with micronutrient delivery to the skin as we enhance moisture delivery, moisture content. And finally, what I wanted to add, and we don't have a slide in here, is the other product that we've recently brought out, Nutrigen, is the oral supplement that actually has a significant amount of the DNA repair ingredient as well within it. So aside from using the topical regimen, using the oral Nutrigen with the topical skincare products results in the most effective repair system that we know, or skin rejuvenation system that I've ever seen. The directions, how do we use this product? Okay, so we apply a small amount of the advanced night repair utilizing the enclosed spatula or with your fingertips. Now, I'm going to make a comment. If you use your fingertips, you have to wash your hands, because your fingertips are probably the one area of your body that has more bacteria on it than anywhere else. And during the actual clinical research, some of my patients said to me, the cream was great for the first couple of weeks, and then I noticed it kind of looked funny or got changed color. Well, they've contaminated that cream by not washing their hands. So one of the key things is to try to use a spatula, and if you're going to use your fingertips, fine, but wash them thoroughly prior to using them. You massage evenly with your fingertips about a dime's worth, or a little less than a U.S. dime's worth. That would be maybe 4 millimeters or 5 millimeters circle of the cream, and you massage that in a circular motion to the face and the neck. You do not need large amounts of this cream, and the secret here is not to overdo it. Okay. So to achieve the ideal, if you will, the ideal results, I mentioned the use of the Neutrogen product, which is our cell age management system, along with the topical skin regimen. And DNA repair is one of the key components, or if you will, complexes in this oral supplement. The other key component are calorie restriction mimetics, which we know are one of the only scientifically proven ways we can slow the aging process. And we also know that they impact genes that are very, very beneficial to skin health. The other thing we're looking at is telomerase or telomere maintenance and telomerase induction compounds. Well, our advanced night repair has targeted that specific component of cellular aging with the bacillin we've added. And then finally, stem cell maintenance and somatic cell regulation compounds are also contained within the cell age management system that Neutrogen offers as well. So by using the oral supplements and the topical creams that Jeunesse has developed, we have a inside-out and outside-in approach to optimal skin aging and youthful appearance. In summary, I've kind of thrown a lot of information at you, but the truth is aging is inevitable, and no one's saying that there is a fountain of youth or we can reverse the aging process immediately. The myth is that we can do nothing about it, and the fact is the science and products are here now from Jeunesse to really make a difference. And these are products that are backed by years of clinical research, science, and that are brought to you with the most cutting-edge technology and credibility. So with that, I hope we gave you enough information to at least have you try one of the advanced night repair, and if not just advanced night repair, try it with the whole system, the topical system as well as the oral system. You'll be nothing but surprised and delighted with what you see. It's a new beginning. Thank you.